Hey guys, I am on stage in Canada right now with Arkells. I am Jodi Vac my ears. Ugh, I gotta get up here. I gotta grab a set. Where did I put Cameron's ears? So I'm in Canada right now at a gig we're opening for Arkells with the Budweiser Stage. We are here. They haven't gone into sound check. I have a little bit of time before they do because they're still working on the stage. And I am Jodi Vac in the ears, and I got a lot of questions about how I Jodi Vac and why Jodi Vac the last time I posted my post about it. So I'm going to really quick, before I can't, tell you about Jodi Vacing and what I'm doing. I'm sitting on the floor in my highly technical location here. So I Jodi Vac the ears every single show day. On these fly dates, I do it before sound check, but normally if we were headlining, I would do it post. I would check the ears before sound check, and then I would do it post sound check. And so it's not a D Live. These are all Digico consoles back here. Me and I believe that's Arkells is on a Digico. And we're on the Budweiser Stage in Canada, so everybody's been here. The last time I was here, I don't even remember. I think it was with Phoebe Bridgers, and then before that I was here with Lizzo in 2019 when it was flooded, so it's been a while. So I'm going to flip this. Yep, gotta hide behind the console while vacuuming. I'm going to flip this around and show you my little setup down here and how it works for me and what I do. Let me open up these ears that I gotta do while I'm doing this with you. I don't even know how I'm going to perch you guys to do this. I'm gonna sit you in my thing real quick. It's hard. There we go. So these ears are nice. Chris got new ears, and then Cameron, I've already done most of them at this point, but I do everybody's, and when I put out the call, I put it out for everybody, all the techs on stage and stuff, because a lot of times the techs don't get their ears cleaned when they work for other bands. I don't know, for some reason some monitor people don't clean everybody's ears. I clean everybody's ears because I'm in charge of everybody hearing the show. That's just how I look at it. If my hair gets a little crazy, it always does with my headband. So I don't always clean the crew's ears. I will put the call out probably once a week to Jodi Vac their ears, unless they're bad, or unless they have a clog or something like that. But I will always offer on flight dates and stuff like that to do the crew's ears. And so this is my little Jodi Vac. This is a Jodi Vac Pro. I highly recommend always getting the Pro version. It's only, I think, $50 more than the regular Jodi Vac. They are the life's end. If you're spending $20,000 to get ears for your band, you'd better maintain them. That's part of the job. So I have got, let's see here. I'm going to flip you around to my little station. So welcome to the floor station. Jodi Vac. These are my accoutrements. I always have a wipe. There's people doing gear things behind me. I always have a wipe. These are what are called audio wipes. These are safe for silicone. They won't break down your ears if you're using soft silicone and things like that. I actually got these from Salim, who is Billie Eilish's monitor engineer. And so he recommended them to me, and I love them. I really only use the alcohol wipes for Hannah and Christian's ears because I actually use spirit gum for them to glue in their ears most nights. Hannah and Christian are very sweaty, and so even with the best fit, sometimes the ears slide out of their ears like a wet seal, you know what I mean? If you've never seen Grouplove, they're a very active band on stage and they jump everywhere. Christian fires himself off of the drum kit at the end of our set, literally jumps. So they're all over the place. So I glue their ears in their head. Christian always has one glued in. I think Hannah does one. Sometimes she does two for this gig. But I'm going to show you my little process once I figure out how I can set you guys up to see this. So we're going to... I don't know. Let's see. All right, this will work. So when I am cleaning a set of ears, here's a good example set. See how dirty it is around these holes? See all that gook in there? That blocks the sound. I request always that my artists and the people that I work with get transparent ears so that I can see into the holes. So I can actually see down into the tubes to make sure that there's not earwax in there. That's really important because a lot of times when you are dealing with in-ears and you've got like very earwaxy people who don't take care of their ears, it'll clog the holes within like seconds. Arkells is playing and we were at Budweiser Stage. So I generally clean it first because you can get a lot of the surface stuff off of here. Like if you notice, this ear is now relatively clean. If you look down the holes, there's nothing sitting in the canal. But if you look in this one, you can see that it's very dirty. Even though I cleaned it already, you can see that down into the hole, there's earwax in it. So I'm gonna have to Jodi Vac this one for sure. And then I'm gonna have to scoop it. You always start with scooping out the mass in there first because you don't want any more to go into the ear.
Do we have a radio?
This is hard to do on a camera, I just gotta say. See, sometimes it doesn't work the way you want it to, but I try to get out what I can. For this set of ears, I'm gonna have to get one of my bigger needle sizes. So the Jodi Vac has different needle tip sizes. I've got a little bag that has all my different sizes in there. So this is actually a really big piece of earwax. So I am gonna have to get one of my larger, wider tips to get this out of there. And I might have to break it up with a pin to help get it out. It's gross, but this is what we do. And always with the Jodi Vacs, you've got pins. So this fell out of here, but normally the way that you store your pin, your ends is like this. This way it keeps the canal, it keeps it clear of earwax and it keeps the nose straight. And then when you pull earwax from these, you use the pin to push the earwax through if it like clogs the hole. So I'm gonna swap the Jodi Vac pin. This is my green one. I actually got that from Pink. That doesn't come standard in it. And I always put the pin close by so I have access to it. We're gonna start the little Jodi Vac. So see how big the end is, the hole is compared to that one? So this is hard to do, I gotta tell you. There we go, sucked it right out. See that? Not everyone's ears are of a size that you can fit a large. See, this hole is not gonna fit it. I'll have to get my smaller one for that. And then just so you, in case you want to know if the Jodi Vac has suction or not, if you pull it, see how the ball goes down? That means it has no suction. It's clogged. When you let go, it has suction. And if you look in here, that's all the earwax I have pulled out of ears in my time of doing this. I gotta switch this over to the other tip right now so I can get in there for that other bit of earwax that's in here. So, see this one? See the earwax in there? You can see it, that dark bit. So the reason you do this is, oh, see it's clogged, and then I gotta push the earwax through. I pulled out some, and then you gotta push it through the hole because then it clogs the little pin. There we go. Back in. So then this way that you never ever have, you're never pushing, the important part is to never push the earwax into this turn. So see how these canals have a little turn right here? In a lot of ears, this is a right angled turn, and you cannot get the earwax out past this point. So this is my little how-to on how to Jodi Vac ears. And then you make sure, so if you look down there, they're clean now. No earwax in the canals, except for, nope, that's just, you're actually seeing the driver in that top one. You're seeing straight down the hole to the driver. So,
good afternoon, sir.
that's my little how-to on how to Jodi Vac these guys. Actually got a kind of dirty set of ears for you for that one. I wasn't expecting it because I keep them so clean for my guys that a lot of times there's not a lot of earwax in there. This is one of the most important elements of keeping my ears healthy, like the, not my ears, but like my artist's ears and things like that. Now that I've Jodi Vac'd, I will go back through and like, sometimes when you pull, see, sometimes when you pull the earwax out, it'll get caught around the edges and you don't want it going back in there. So I will scoop it out. I know it's gross, but it's like part of it, you know, and I have conversations with my artists. I have conversations with my artists about the health of their ears and their earwax and stuff like that. Like, I'm pretty, like, if I have to, if you get blocked like once a week, one of my tactics that I tell them to do is to put earwax in their ears. Or I mean, I'm sorry, excuse me. Hydrogen peroxide is one of my tactics to help loosen up and get rid of earwax. So if you have a blockage, if you fly, if you have earwax build up in your ears, generally speaking, you can take hydrogen peroxide, pour it in your ear, and let it sit there, and it'll break down the earwax. It'll help clean it out of your ear. It'll push through any pressure issues you have there. I use it a lot when I get ear infections to keep my ears somewhat healthy. I actually have another set of ears that I need to Jodi Vac that I will do from this side. Again, my percussion players. So, you know, instead of you looking at the ear as I do it, we'll do it from this angle. It's a little bit of a weird angle. We're looking up the stage, but here we are. I've got 6 to 8 sets of ears that I do every day. When I was doing the Taylor Swift thing, they also do them every day, and they have like gazillions of sets of ears. Literally just someone that cleans ears. These are my percussion players' cams. Let me see if that's a better angle. I'm not enjoying the angle there. His are not bad. You can tell, like, again, see all my artists have clear ears. I make all of my artists get translucent. It helps me so much as the monitor engineer because you can really see if there's anything in their holes. I know people want to get really fancy ones, but you can tell your artists to get a shell, right? So Jerry Harvey can do this part translucent, and you can do this part with like your design on it, like a cover. Do that option. Never get it fully opaque, otherwise it's going to be a nightmare to like look in there and like see where the ears are. So like I always start out with the wipes and I clean so I could properly see into the ears, because no matter what, you're going to get like the goo. I don't know what to call it. Like, it's sweat and the waxy that's in the outside of your ear, and when you perform, it just kind of like rubs and creates like a goo. It's on your ears every time, you know what I mean? So I always clean off the goo, so to speak, and then I take a healthy look in the ears, make sure all's well. Also with Jerry Harvey, they have these 4-pin. See these? See this collar on it? This collar, like, every single show I have to tighten these collars on the ears. Even between sound check and show, I have to make sure these collars are tightened. I would never put a drop of resin or nail polish or whatever, I've had that recommended to me. Never do that. Don't do that. Do not do that, because if this cable breaks, which it does often, is usually the problem, and you want to get this thing off the ear, what a nightmare. No thanks. So yeah, this set of ears isn't too bad. I don't need to vacuum. Cameron is very clean. Arkells is in the background getting ready for their sound check, so I'll probably cut this short very soon. As soon as I see their singers. Ooh, gotta be respectful. Can't be exposing people's sound checks, you know. But look, I just cleaned out the shell of his thing, and that's just from one performance, y'all. All this nasty, all of this is from one performance. One. We just did a show last weekend in Bonnaroo, and all of this earwax, all of this stuff is from one show. All this buildup. So like, it is one of the most important things I do. When a band invests in ears, I ask them that they spend the $200. Like, yes, I have my own Jodi Vac, but generally when I'm maintaining a band's ears, I make them pay for the Jodi Vac. It's just healthier. Like, in the event I'm not with the band, they always have the Jodi Vac. You know what I mean? Like, on this one, I've had Andrew Newmiller fill in for me. I've had a couple of fill-ins, so I think it's really important to have that be a consistent element of this. Also, something that a lot of people don't think about. See these things that come with the ears? These are desiccants. This is like silicone pellets. This actually takes the moisture out of your ears, and I have got a bunch of them. I actually carry all my ears in a like a tackle box. It makes it easier for me, so I know them, so I don't have to get them out of these things every day. Like, if I need to have something happen, I usually have a main and a spare tackle box that has all the main ears in one and all the spare ears in one, so I can just grab them. So it makes it a lot easier. So I keep all my tools and accoutrements in my little tackle box. So I got my scooper. I've got Q-tips if I need them. This is my spirit gum. I've got clips for the cables. So for like my drummer or like my guitar player, and it's a preference thing, like they prefer to have their ears clipped to their themselves. This is also a really important tool. Hold on, I'm trying to get it out. It's tricky. And it's silly, but this is one of the most important tools. So here we go. This is a clipped guitar string. The thinnest string that you can get off a guitar. This is the end, the knot end. And so sometimes you have to get into the ears and you have to like chop up a piece of earwax that's in here in a very small canal. And this is one of the only things that works. And I learned this from John, Pink's monitor engineer. He taught me this because I had an issue with my drummer. He had earwax stuck in his ear and it was stuck. Like, and I couldn't get it, couldn't grab it. And so he had this trick, and this is literally, I don't know what string it is. It's the smallest guitar string. But just ask your guitar tech when they're pulling a set of strings off to cut it about 2 inches, you know, and this acts as your little handhold, and then you can go into the ear and like cut up the earwax. It's really important. I always have one of these in my toolkits because it is a lifesaver. Like this little guitar string thing pick, like those really small holes, like nothing else is like it. I probably got about like 3 more minutes maybe before I have to go. So if you have any questions or you'd like me to answer any questions before I go, I'm about to walk out of the room because I don't want to be in here during their sound check, and you know how that is. It's just one of those things that you do to be respectful to the other artists. I don't want to be live during their sound check. So if you guys have any questions, I'm really quickly closing up my stuff, and then I'm gonna vacate my area on the stage. So please let me know what if you do. We'll go take a walk. I'm like packing up. I'm just gonna walk away real quick while I'm with you guys. Alright. Woo, we're gonna go out back. There we go. So for monitors, it's become a little bit of a touchy subject to talk about ears and like brands right now. I use Jerry Harvey a lot, but quite frankly, there's been a lot of quality control issues with Jerry Harvey across myself and many other acts. So I love Jerry Harvey because I can get different ears for all of my artists, and I do something very different than a lot of the other engineers. I have every person in my stage get a different set of ears. Sometimes they end up having multiple sets of the same ears on people, but I view people's hearing as different as a fingerprint, and I believe that by giving them ears that sound good to them before we even start, then it's easier to get their preferred mix. So I have everybody on stage get the ears that sound the best and most musical to them. And so in that scenario and sense, I like to be on the same brand of ears as whatever my artist is using, but I'm not necessarily tied to brand loyalty. I like Jerry Harvey because across all models they have the same impedance, so I don't necessarily need to worry about my gain structure. However, that's true of Ultimate Ears and some of the other ones now especially. All right. Yeah, this is my little live on Jodi Vacing ears. It is a how-to, so I'm gonna end this live now because Arkells is starting their sound check, and we will do this again sometime soon. All right.